I'm Kyle on the mic, and this is Stand Out with Kyle. What's up, y'all? I am Kyle on the mic, and welcome to Stand Out with Kyle, an interview series where we talk to dope individuals who uniquely became themselves and became successful in their own career. Now, today, I'm here with a dope guy who, listen, everyone is wearing this clothing line. This clothing brand, I mean everyone from, I've worn it on big stages, television, and everybody with all names around the world has been wearing this as well. And he's been standing out by just being uniquely him and this brand. And today we're going to talk to him about the brains behind it, how he came up with it, and just get to know him as an individual as well. So please welcome the one, the only creator of Mingo by Domingo. Give it up for Yanju!
How y'all doing today? How y'all doing?
Round of applause.
Well, we can't say that part.
Yeah.
How y'all doing today?
First of all, bro, how you feeling today, man?
I'm feeling blessed, brother. Like I told you earlier, I'm a little nervous, but
First off, I just want to say thank you for being and doing this interview because you don't do a lot of interviews.
Nah. You don't. I try to keep it mystique because I feel like it's less pressure when people don't know who's behind the brand, and I feel like when me being who I am, I'm a people person already. Yeah. So at the beginning, I didn't want it to be like, yo, I'm only copping this because I know Jew and he's a funny guy or he's a good guy. So I just like to let the clothes speak for itself, be behind the scenes, go over to Chipotle lines. He be like, yo, you on the brand? I'll be like, yeah, that's me.
Yeah, that's me. You like, I'll wear it a little bit. Like, you model? Like, something like that. Can I get some gear?
Nah, we can't do all that. But yeah, it's literally sometimes I just like, you know what I mean? I'm learning to step out.
Quick.
Thank you. Good.
Make sure we're good now. Like, can I get some gear? Like, I hope so. But no, first of all, glad that you're here. I'm going to start off first by just setting the tone with an icebreaker, okay? Now, you have worked with a lot of fabric. Yeah. You know different fabrics, especially with your clothing brand and everything. So we're going to play a Guess That Fabric game. Oh my So you're going to close your eyes. You're going to feel the fabric and see if you can guess what the fabric is, okay? All right? let them use you now, okay? All right, here's the first piece of fabric. What type of fabric you think this is? You go ahead and feel it.
Say, silk or polyester.
Let me see. Wow, silk. He's right. 1 for 1. Coming up with you.
Okay, that was a little.
All right, nervy. So you're not a fraud. You actually you actually do this for a living. Okay. All right. Okay. Right here. Go ahead and have that feel a little bit.
This might be a canvas cotton or something, but it's giving canvas vibes. Am I wrong?
Wow. Woven canvas. Okay. You're right.
Yeah.
Wow. Let me tell y'all, he did not know none of this. Okay, you must really be legit. Okay. All right, now I'm trying to learn these fabrics myself. Okay, next fabric.
Got it, man. All right. Got a little elastic to it. So this, if it is what I think it is, this might not be everybody's favorite because of how bad we are as humans when it comes to polluting the earth, but this might be polyester.
Polyester?
I believe so.
All right, maybe next year. Yeah. This is LYCRA matte.
Okay, elastic matte.
Okay, there we go. I pronounced that wrong, a little wrong.
No, you could.
Okay, let's see what this. We'll do one more. Jesus, look how it feel. All right.
Wow, and you said that, and I can't even get. Hold on. Look how it feel. Look how I feel. No stress.
It's like a type of haircut.
Buzz cut.
Well, no. Like if it's like dissolving, it's doing what? Okay, it's fading away. All right, it's fading. Yeah, coming up with Jill, he complete the icebreaker. All right.
Let me see.
Yeah. See if you know a few of these.
All right, we'll get back to these. No. We'll get back to these. All
right, now, Jill, you are here with us today. Like man, you're a man of less words. You're more about action. You show what you can do within your brand, like you said before in your intro. But we are here today. I want to know, how did we meet? I'm trying to think, how did we get? I know I always see your brand. Yeah. I know I always hear about your work, but I never knew the person behind it. Okay. But how did we meet?
How we met, I'm fully not too sure. I think we met at a function or something, and I told you how I saw you at first. So basically, we were at the Kennedy Center shooting for my brother's, what's it called, photo cover for one of his songs or a single or album he was dropping. And then we were there working, you know what I mean, shooting, getting everybody ready for the camera. And then on the other side where they have a stage, they were doing like a little international dance or something. And then I hear a guy, you know what I mean, trying to wake up the crowd, get the crowd to pump and everything, doing his best. And I'm standing from afar as people, you know what I mean, in front of him are not even paying attention. I'm like, yo, he's really good at what he's doing. Like, he's keeping me engaged, and I know he's trying his best. He's you know what I mean, he's doing what he's supposed to do, and he's really good at it. So I think I saw you again, and I was like, bro, I really love your work. I really love what you do. I saw you that day at the Kennedy Center, and I had to step up and respect you. And
facts. And the feeling's mutual, man. I think that since then we've been locked in.
You know what I mean? Mutuals connected, but I don't think they were
definitely
needed, you know what I mean?
Mutuals and everything. But no, I appreciate the love, man. Literally, like all loving your brand too. Like I wore your brand on many stages. I did a BET commercial. The BET commercial, it was they aired it. I had the jersey on.
We thank God.
Broccoli City. I've worn your stuff, Broccoli City. Google Pixel, the NBA, and WNBA. I wore that. And all these things have definitely been on big screens and platforms. Not only probably because, you know, they like the energy, but maybe because I look good at the same time. And I don't know. Mingo may have that effect to get me on the big camera. Even I recently just got back from the Hip Hop Dance International Championship, and like they have my name, my picture on the big screen.
Yes, sir.
And it's
it was that joint, right?
Wearing this same outfit. It's all right, though.
It don't matter,
Sometimes I just got to wear it again. Because let me tell you, when you wash it and dry it, it don't shrink at all. The material is 10 out of 10. But seriously, like the materials are 10 out of 10. Like it's great quality. Seriously.
Thank you, brother.
Now, a lot of people's quality, it ain't it.
Hey, man.
You know,
your hip hop joint, this is like your third year or second?
It's my second year doing it.
They love you over there.
Yeah, it was dope.
The kids do love you, man.
It was dope, but we love you. And that's what we're going to talk about you today, all right? Now, let's go ahead and start from the origin. When did you like tap into like this creative, like, you know, getting into fashion type of spill? Like, when did this start happening for you? Like, okay.
So, being a Nigerian born in America, and you know what I mean, first generation, I'm exposed to a lot of things. So when it comes to the Nigerian side of me, my mother, she's very fashionable. You know what I mean? It's because of our culture with the native and the Akara and all the stuff that we're wearing and everything like that. And usually when she's about to go to a function, she'll have me and my brother lift up her bed with all the, you know what I mean, ironed out pieces and native that she has to pick out to match the bags and match the shoes and everything. So me and my brother will help her pick that stuff out for her. And then for me, on the American side of things, growing up as a kid, you know what I mean, finding my own way. MTV Jams was popping a lot, so I'm watching a lot of TV. I'm getting inspired by a lot of backward jerseys, you know what I mean, Jada Kiss, Paper Towel, all these things.
The nostalgic vibes.
You know what I mean, watching all these things on TV, watching all these rappers and everything like that. So I wanted to be a rapper, main thing at first. So I'm like, all right, that's what I'm gonna do. And like people tell me I talk a lot, so if they want me to be a lawyer, I'm gonna be a Johnny Cochran, so I can be a celebrity lawyer. All these things.
I'm sure your family would love that. Lawyer, doctor, something now.
All that. So doing that, I was just like, all right, I'm gonna do something with that. But later on, coming down life, you know what I mean. Fourth grade, I got shipped to Nigeria because I was a baby kid. So my brother was, you know what I mean, guilty by association, so he came with me. We did 3 years. My other brother over there, he already did his 3-year bid too, and then he came back. So when we went out there, you know what I mean, we were finding ourselves. It was both of us by ourselves in boarding school. You know what I mean, American kids, Nigerian though, but we're American to them. You know what I mean. So we're trying to find our way, trying to get back. You know, you feel me? Trying to fit into our own people. So we're finding our way and doing all these things, and then we come back in like 2008. Trying to start all over again. So we're seeing a different range of style popping like than when we left. You know what I mean? Everybody got older. All our friends got older. And so when we left PG County and then came back, we moved into Howard County because my mom was like, yeah, y'all not going to Tasker, you're not going to Bowie. You're not doing all that. You're going to Howard County. So did all that. And we got a new open, like our eyes open to a different style, you know what I mean? White boys pulling up in shorts, the Sperry's, you know what I mean? The hoodie, it's like so different style.
It's like Will going to Bel Air.
You feel me? Exactly, but you still go to your peoples in Greenbelt, you still go to different go-go's and, you know what I mean? You still see what's happening in PG County, you still see what's happening on that side. So I'm mixing both of these things, and I loved like every single style that came about it. So doing that, love clothes, honestly. Got out of school, love photography, did photography in senior year, and thought I was going to do that. Wanted to go on tour with Joey Badass and all them, take pictures. You know what I mean? Live the life like Jada does. So I was trying to do that. It didn't really work out for me. But I was a good photographer, but it didn't really work out for me the way I wanted. So finished my associates, and then after that, went to work for the Mouse in Orlando. Did an internship over there. Was bored out of my mind, dealing with some stuff, and I just started creating because I came from a group before before I left, I skipped that part, but I came from a group before I left, a little creative group called 800. Rappers, designers, producers, all those things. Yeah, all those things. It was a lot of us in there. So I was rapping in there too, and I was, you know what I mean, doing some creative stuff, but like photography, but mainly rapping. And I realized when I got to Orlando and I was just working on myself, I didn't really feel like doing music no more. So I started designing. My homies in 800, as you can see, is the backwards 008.
Okay, I like the reference.
Thank you. But yeah, so me and the homies in 800, they helped me get comfortable with Photoshop and Illustrator. And so that really helped me out in my time that I had when I was working at Disney. And when I came back, I sent my boy some designs while I was out in Disney. He made a sample for me. I came back, started making stuff. I was doing it for myself because I wanted to make my own clothes, and then the community around it, my homies, everybody at different schools wanted to get involved, and that just told me like, yo, this is not about you no more. This is a community. Yeah, you can make money off of it, but look how you're inspiring people. So yeah, we just got there, man, and we're here. It's been like 2017, 18 officially, and then 9 to 5, 2020.
Wow. Yeah. And now this full-on entrepreneur.
Not 2020, yeah, 2000, yeah, you know what I mean.
Yeah, it's a recent times.
Yeah.
So wait, at Disney, that's like, that's how you working at Disney. How was that?
It was a college internship, so it was cool. Not everybody gets accepted, but it was cool.
Did you do like that? You're watching Disney Channel.
I wish I got to that part. I wanted to work for ESPN after the fact, but I was just working at the hotels, doing transportation and working with hospitality and all these things, and literally studying like the best place to work in the world, technically. You know what I mean? Google and all these things were top ranked, but I'm literally at the back end, like literally studying how we treat the guests, not customers. You know what I mean? That's one of the.
But I think that's one thing about you. Now, when I went to your birthday party, just how you treat people. Like, you know, you see how it shows up back to you. Like, I'm like, wow, this brother right here is love.
Thank you.
But it shows out just in like this your aura, and I think your brand describes who you are as too. It's just authentic. It's different.
Thank you.
It's, you know, it's fashionable. It also has hints of like this history about who you are, so it ties into you as well.
Thank you, brother.
But you said music.
Yeah, man.
So if I give you a word right now, make a beat. Could you do a rap right now?
We here for the fashion, brother.
He said, no, fashion, make do the music. No, I got you.
Thank you, though.
But no, like, how did Mingo by Domingo, the name, how did it come about?
So in that group 800, you know what I mean, we're all finding our aliases and our names and nicknames and stuff like that. So in that group, I was the church boy. Because like, you know what I mean, I was still going to church, you know what I mean, it's part of my religion. It's what I grew up in. Yeah. So like, everybody's doing something for New Year's. Everybody's at the homie spot for New Year's. I'm like, I'll meet y'all there after church. Yeah. So they already know where I'm going to be at on New Year's. They already know where I'm going to be at sometimes. So I just got the name Domingo, basically meaning Sunday in Spanish. And then it's actually also based off a TV show, How to Make It in America, off of HBO. Kid Cudi's in that show, and it's about two guys who want to start their a jean brand, like a denim brand. Okay. And how hard it is, you know what I mean, to start a denim brand in New York and all these things. And Kid Cudi's one of their friends. But Cudi's character's name is Domingo, and that's named after his brother, Domingo Dean. So I loved Cudi at the time. Man on the Moon plays a part in my life, you know what I mean? So I just like, all right, Sunday, Cudi, Domingo, and I ran with it. And then I was like, all right, we about to start a brand. The homie was like, yo, Mingo by, maybe call it Mingo or something. I was like, all right, Mingo by Domingo, Mark by Mark Jacobs type of thing. And yeah, here we are, man.
Wow.
Yeah, so M doesn't mean money, motivation, none of that. Yeah, it's just Mingo by Domingo, you know what I mean? Yeah.
You learn something new each day. Like, I just want you to understand the genius. And just like in that, I mean, just like this, the meaning. I think the cool thing about brands is when you dissect it and find, because people are like, okay, Mingo by Domingo, maybe it's like a name or something, a nickname or something, but just the meaning, how you say it came from you watching the movie, Sunday, being religious, you know, even you having 800 backward, all of it's like your history tied into your brand.
Thank you, brother.
And that's dope, bro.
Yeah, man.
Like, you ever sit back, like, seriously, like, this is reason why this called Stand Out with Kyle, not only just because my name's on it, but like, I live by the words, like, why I try to think when you're born to stand out. Like, those words literally mean something to me. Like, do you like sometimes like just realize like how far you've come in like your brand?
Yeah, the homies have to remind me. My family has to remind me at times.
But you're real humble.
And I mean, because
you do a lot of good stuff.
Yeah, and that's what I'm called to be. I'm called to be humble by God, and that's, you know what I mean. I think of like, I'm not perfect, and I'm not trying to be, you know what I mean, holier than thou, which I strive to be. But it's very hard. It's very hard to kill yourself every day, die of your flesh, and then follow what God has to do. So it's like, to hear that, it's like, all right, I'm gonna try to be humble at least and be a good person. Try to be. It's not easy. Yeah, I'm gonna try to be. And I know when it came to my business, especially me being a Nigerian, there's already a stigma to the Nigerians with business. So I'm like, all right, I can't be that. I can't follow those footsteps.
I'm gonna make sure I get it done.
You know what I mean? I'm gonna do it the right way. It's very easy to make money. It's very easy to scam. It's very easy to do a lot of things. But it's like, I already know the longevity of it. I want generational wealth. I want, you know what I mean, my kids to have something. I want my family to be able to feed off of this. I want, you know what I mean, everybody to be able to strive off of this. So
everybody eats.
I hope so, man. By God's grace, brother.
So I guess the flamingo, that has come with the
Yeah, I needed a logo, man. Nothing crazy. I needed a logo. I'm a tall guy, and I was like, all right, Mingo, Mingo by Domingo. I was like, all right, flamingo. But I was like, all right, if I do the flamingo, I can't cheat and just do an all over flamingo brand. Like, you know what I mean? I'm in Miami and just sell it to old people out there. You know what I mean? Key West and all that. So I didn't want to do that. So I didn't want to throw like flamingos all over the place. But I was just like, all right, we're going to find a way to incorporate the flamingo in a sense. And then we did that. My homie Tayshawn, who was in 800, he helped me design this logo one day when we were like little kids just drunk in LA, and he was just cooking up. He was like, all right, I think this is it. Yeah.
And it hasn't changed since?
It hasn't changed since. We added another one, the heart logo, which
I like that. Yes, it's on the
sweater.
The sweater. I wear that on Fox 5.
Yeah,
they like that too.
We cooked that up too. So I need a secondary logo with no name and just something that I can put out there. You know what I mean? Let it speak for itself. And we cooked this up and it made it work, man. So
how do you stay original? How do you come with ideas? Like you said, you have a team, but like how do you create like ideas or find ways to just be, this original and like this? Fun and go with the times, because fashion changes all the time. How are you able to like create and like come up with dope stuff when you already putting out fire?
So to be honest, bro, I be down on myself because I didn't know I could be an artist. Like you know what I mean, growing up in school, it's like art is all right, fine art.
Yeah.
Like if you don't know how to draw, you can't draw like that face that they tell you to draw. All I knew was how to shade the right way. The teacher told me how to shade, because you know what I mean, just light on the pencil, all that stuff. But you know what I mean? Like, I'm gonna side it up a little bit. I did that right, teach, but I can't draw for nothing. So I was like, yo, I'm not an artist. You know what I mean? But coming out later, it's like there's so many ways to be an artist. You know what I mean? It's not, you don't have to be pressed to call yourself that. But once you just relax and just sit down, it's like, yo, a designer, a teacher's an artist. You know what I mean? All these people are artists. So I'm just sitting there and I'm just like, going through my archives. I like a lot of clothes. I do like being in high school. I was thrifting a lot. I lived off of Route 1, which is a lot of thrift stores. Just back and forth. So before Macklemore made it hot, like me and the homies were there. Like Tuesdays,
we've been thrifting since thrifting.
Tuesdays, $3 joints. We was buying what's it called? Snapbacks with the green brim, old joints from the day. You know what I mean? Sweated. So I loved clothes. And then I just like was just going through the history of my clothes, all the things I wanted, all the things I see that's lacking in the market. You know what I mean? Creatively, it's like it's hard to bring something new, refreshing to the community, because nothing's new under the sun. You know what I mean? Like somebody's already thought of it, or somebody's already done it in a certain way. So I have to relax on that part. But if I need help and I'm at like a creative block, I'll ask homies. I'll try to step out and be like, yo, can you help me on this? But usually it's just going through my closet, going through archives that I'm seeing. I'm like, all right, what haven't we done? What can we do? And what we're capable of doing? And where do we want this to go at the end of the day? So even coming out, bro, like starting the brand, I didn't want to do black and white t-shirts. I had money. I only had money for t-shirts. I didn't have money for a cardigan. I wanted to start with a candle, and then the manufacturer's like, yo, you gotta do 500. I'm like, bro, I'm still in school. Like, it's a refund check I'm about to use for this. So
we're making it work, all right?
I just need like 20 or so. I don't even have 500 customers, you know what I mean? So just started with t-shirts, custom ink vibes, you know what I mean? Found manufacturers around the way in Silver Spring. Just started with t-shirts. And I already knew at the end of the day, I want to do more than that. I want to do a cardigan. I want to do women's clothes. I want to do so many other things. I want to build a school one day, you know what I mean? Different things like that. So I was like, all right, we start small, but we make it stand out. So even the tees and all the pieces that we doing, it's rare for me to make a black hoodie. Like, it's really rare. Like, what you got, all the stuff you got is different colors.
But that's what intrigued me about it. I'm like, this is different.
Because it played, so another reason why I did that is to stand out and be different, but it was being selfish because I'm a dark-skinned man. So all these colors can bounce off me real easily, you know what I mean? So it's like, it helps. So that's why I started with that. I'm like, all right, when I'm making t-shirts, I'm not gonna do a black and white joint. I'm gonna do a neon orange joint, come out the gate, a sky blue joint, a green one. And all these people saw me wearing this joint. It's like, dang, I wouldn't even do that.
You well.
You feel me? Like, dang, I wouldn't even think of that type of shirt. But like, all right, I see you rocking it, and that's really what style is, bro. You really have to be confident in what you do. You can be like, somebody can call you a Bama, but if you're confident, who's gonna take that from you?
Facts.
Who's gonna take that from me? And then later, the same person called you a Bama, be like, dang, all right, you try to crack that joint up.
Yeah, I feel like times are now changing with fashion, like the fanny packs, and also like, man, that was champ. Or you get on our dad's like, why are you wearing this fanny pack? My dad loved his fanny pack. Shout out to my dad. But I see myself now wearing the fanny pack.
And it's useful, bro. So why be cooking them, man?
And then like, I was, we tall, so my khakis were a little high waters by the time I was done. I didn't have Mingo back then, so the pants, the quality wasn't good. Okay,
we gotta deal with that.
Yeah, but the high waters now, the high waters are cool.
Back, baby, I got my legs out.
Come on now, I see the stars.
I used to get cooked in school. I used to get cooked but I loved it, man. And once I already knew. Once I was getting cooked, I knew I was doing something.
Yes,
I knew I
you
was
were different.
Exactly.
You said it.
Exactly. I knew I was like, yo, I was getting cooked, so I could take it. You know what I mean? It helped me build that. It helped me build my strength of my chin and stuff. But like, I was like, all right, deep down, like they low key cooking me because they know they can't do this.
Exactly. And I feel like some people be insecure about themselves, so they're fine easy somebody who's like just a standout target just to go ahead and like make fun of. Like, were you made fun of a lot, like younger and things like that?
Yeah, low key. So I ain't gonna lie, I remember this summer camp. Y'all remember the LL Cool J song? They call me Big Willie. Yeah. So my camp instructor, bro. Before I got shipped to Nigeria, it was a camp instructor in Bowie. I would never forget this, and it don't kill me. But he made a song. He made a remix for me. They call me Big Lippy. Yeah, it's juicy. When I'm mad, drop down to my. I was like, bro, to this day. So I had to learn to be like, all right, yeah, I got big lips, but all right, cool. I'm gonna embrace it. You know what I mean? I got a big nose. All right, cool. I'm gonna embrace it. I'm dark as. All right, cool. I'm gonna embrace it. My fun, like my character and the way, you know what I mean, the way I carry myself. I'm gonna embrace it. Yeah, it hurts sometimes. Yeah. But hey, man, that's what we gotta go through. And I don't hold it against nobody because you know what I mean. We were kids. You know what I mean? So it's like as long as you know better now and you grew out of it, even if you didn't, man, that's your own business with God.
And it made you who you are today. Look at you now.
You know what I mean, man?
What he doing? He probably DM you right now, like, bro, let me get some Mingo, bro. Let me get some Mingo, bro.
But shout out to him though. Like me and my brother would never forget that. My brother used to laugh at that joint too. That joint was actually clever because I still sing it to this day. So yeah.
No, but that's for like literally like Mike Jones back then. They didn't want me down hot. Literally, but I love how like you really turned like those things into like ammunition and made it turn out to like you being authentically you.
Yes, sir. Yes,
and I think that's one thing that's cool about you. Now you recently were at a school, you did a career day. Yeah, how was that? Now you giving back to the community, back to the kids who are still finding themselves and a walking example how people can make fun of you, but if you stay true to yourself and still find your niche, it may not be easy, but consistency at the end of the day, there's light at the end of the tunnel.
Amen.
And now everybody else is wearing my stuff nationwide.
So I ain't gonna lie, the kids was amazing. So when they hit me up for that, it was another friend of mine I used to go to school with. She's a teacher out there, and she hit me up for that and was like, what's it called? She said, do you want to do a career day? I was like, all right, cool. What's the age? And she was like 4th and 5th graders. I was like, all right, cool. So really nervous, took time to do a presentation. I'm like, these kids not gonna want to hear what I gotta say. You know what I mean? They don't know who I am. But I was like 2 days beforehand, I'm telling everybody I'm nervous. And then I finally get there, bro. Like I was just like, let's get this over with. Thank God we finally here. Get into that joint, start. The kids are screaming as soon as I walked in, and my homie's like, yo, I already told him you a superstar. I already told him about you. It was like, you Miss Simone's friend, da, 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 da. And I was like, yeah. They was like, we love you. I'm like, all right, cool. So thankfully we had a exercise for them because I was like, I want to make them shirts, but I don't know how many kids I'm gonna be coming to. So like, I didn't have time to get everybody's sizes and make it fair for everybody. So I'm like, I gotta have an activity. So luckily my team, my project manager Mo, we came up with this idea to do an exercise, like a little design exercise, like a little coloring book. Designed that up the night before, sent it to the school. They printed out papers, put that out on the table. The kids went crazy, man. I only had 10 minutes to talk and they had 10 minutes to design, but it felt so amazing.
No, they made it work.
It was so amazing.
No, facts. And the word you use is exercise. Yeah. Now, every time I wake up in the morning and get on my story, that camera is up there and you are jogging somewhere around the DMV. I said, this guy you be jogging.
Yeah, so Orlando, man, when I was bored, I got off of work. I started work at like 4 in the morning and then get off work at like 2 p.m. Wasn't smoking out there because Orlando weed is pretty bush. So I was like, all right, I'm gonna give up smoking. I don't drink like that. So I'm like, all right, what am I gonna do? After I done designing some stuff, I just went to the gym and I just started running, bro. And that's where and I hated running. I used to run for South Bowie, Track Express.
You jog every morning. Like, you see the camera up, you have some song playing, you just be jogging.
I love it, bro.
I was like, that's just like my ammunition to get up and go to the gym.
And that's all you got to do. Everybody's like, yo, I want to run. I'm like, yo, you don't have to be as fast. You don't have to run as, like, you know what I mean, as long as me. Just get up and do it.
Because did you play sports?
I did track a little bit, and I played basketball recreationally, but track was like kind of my main thing, but I hated it, bro. Hated track practice. Wednesdays, going to school, I'm like, oh my God, we got track practice today. Hated it, because I was kind of like not really the fastest, and it was straight sprints, you know what I mean? I'm running with people who are getting ready to go to college, you know what I mean, and be on the Terps, wide receivers, and I'm
so you're like, I'm chilling, and so we can connect and meet up in the long run.
And they not hearing that. It's like, yo, everybody hit the line. Hit the line, all right, squad. I'm like, dang, bro. But when I got to Orlando and I was at my own pace doing my thing, bro, I'm like, it was a different story, and that high that I got from running, it just translated to when I got back. I slowed down a little bit. My brothers and my family started doing it more, so they got me back into it. And now, man, it's just kick. Let's go. Let's eat.
I mean, everything's just kicking. The running, the product, the brands. But I want to get back to the brand. You know, product, how does it go like for production when like for someone who's starting out a clothing brand? Like, what's the process to like make, you know, getting this good quality, you know, the research, you know, what goes all into making a brand? Like if someone wants to make a clothing line, like what are the steps you took that could help somebody else out? So because I don't know how it goes. I'm like, you find a manufacturer, even though that's easy. That seems like it's hard to do. But when find the quality, getting the samples, seeing what you want, but actually having to come to life instead of using custom.
Yes, sir.
So talk about that. Talk about that process. How does that like?
So when it comes to that process, it was a whole lot. It was a lot of years of studying and research and actually getting scammed too, which helped. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That toughened my skin and basically, you know
what I mean? What happened? Talk to me. What happened?
Some stuff is crazy. Just, you know what I mean? I sent out of my refund check, I sent like $750 to get some vests and stuff made and some pants, and then bro just went ghost, and I was like, all right, say less.
So how can people like pivot from that?
So usually what I do now, what I learned from that experience, I'm not sending everything up front. You know what I mean? There got to be something tangible on your end to show me that you're, you know what I mean, you're a trustworthy person, or we got to do this on a different platform that will hold both of us accountable. That would be like, all right, he stole from me, I stole from him type thing. So I learned from that, and I learned how to trust God too, man, because I can't fight every battle myself. You know what I mean? I'm like, yo, God, please look out for me. I mean, it is what it is. It's like, I'm not green, but I'm not sweet, but I'm not about to be like on you and begging you. Like, God's gonna deal with that vengeance at the end of the day. That's too much energy. So just researching it, and then when it comes to somebody starting their own, man, they got to do a lot of research. They got to do a lot of contacting people, and when they do that, it's samples, man. You make the samples, you have the money for the samples, you tell them what you like, you tell them what you don't like, send reference pictures, send all these things, study your mom's closet, study your closet, all these things, every niche, you know what I mean, every scene that you like, every scene that you don't like, you tell that to that manufacturer. And luckily we have technology nowadays where you could just call the homie and be like, yo, FaceTime him right now, the manufacturer, or you can text him and do all these things. So it's a lot easier now, but it was a lot of research back then, you know what I mean?
Is there a creative fashion brand that you know that you look up to, that someone has inspired you throughout your life? I know you talk about family, you talk about, you know, your lifestyle, you know, your history, you know, making things, you know, adapt to this, like, you know, your skin tone and things like that, you know. But is there any brand or anybody out there who's been like a big influence to you that you you know, look up to? Or
I'm saying people around me every day. That helps with my style too, and what I put out and put in a brand too, because I gotta study the consumers and just people walking around. So that too. Main brands, I'll say like Ralph, definitely. Let me see. Main brands, Ralph Lauren definitely helped me out a lot. Couple other joints, local ones. Stripped is really good. She's really good at what she does. And then who else? We have River is Wild, Wale. That's my mentor. He's one of the people later on in my career who's really helped me out, who took me, like, you know what I mean, under his wing when he didn't have to.
What is some dope advice Wale is giving you?
Man, just continue putting out work. And when you create something, it's like with an artist too. Same for you. When you make a song or make a beat, try not to dwell on it too much and go back to like, dang, I need to change this. He's like, yo, once you design something, move on to the next one. You know what I mean? Just move on. It's like you got other ideas in your head, just move on. Don't sit back and like, all right, let me go back to this, because you start changing stuff that didn't need to be changed. Same with my teacher back at school. She used to tell me like, yo, when you filling out a test or something, stay with your first answer, because you might, you know what I mean, you going back, you probably had it right the first time.
Facts.
You know, and next thing you know, you get that Scantron back. It's like, damn, that was it. So all the time, so I took that advice and like try not to dwell on what you've done already and just move on and keep going.
Yeah, so you talking about artists, you know, so like Wale, I know you, you know, I've worked with Brent Fayez and things like that before. Like, how was that relationship with you all? Because that was organic. That wasn't just when everything happened. That was from like the beginning, all the other stages. How was like that process with him and him showing you love? And like, you know, just any advice he's given you or done for you that you appreciate?
So like I said, Howard County, man. Me being in Howard County, we knew a lot of mutual people. Trey, his best friend, I've done some work with him. We know a lot of mutual people growing up. His brother Juan, we used to play ball at the gym a lot. So when I met Brent again, you know what I mean, I was just like, oh, that's your brother? Like, wow, bro. We used to play pickup. And then Brent came through, another homie of mine who I used to work with at this concert spot called Merriweather Post Pavilion. I used to flip chicken in with my homie Zoo.
Come on now, we got to know about the jobs people did before they got to the brand. So I'm glad you're talking about that, because everybody that sees like the standout moment, but it's like, no. Disney, New York, had to go right back home and had to come back here to the U.S. and get myself together.
Work for somebody. It really helps. Like, I know our generation hates working for people, but work for somebody. It really helps.
Stack your money up. And not everybody can do
insurance, man. You get a paycheck right when you getting paid.
Yes. So, and not everybody can step out and, you know, it's not for everybody.
No, it's not.
And it's just an honest truth. Everybody cannot do can't do it.
Yeah.
Because you have to have discipline.
Yeah.
You have to go through trial and error. You have to fail.
Yeah.
You have to fall on your feet.
Yes, sir.
You have to get scammed.
You gotta love it.
Yeah, you have to love it.
You gotta love it. It's not about the money
like
thing
now
at the end of
everything,
the day.
especially after the pandemic, I feel like everybody's just like, okay, I'm gonna do this, I'm gonna do this, I'm gonna do that, because now
money.
they saw the money.
TikTok. They saw
everything's fast paced.
Yeah.
So it's just kind of like, you know, you gotta keep it, you know, have different jacks and trades, but like also like, you know, still focus on what you want and not get distracted whether it goes good or bad.
Yes, sir.
And I want to talk about you, you know, you also wear hats as also, you know, doing film, right?
Yeah.
So I want to talk to you about you did a short film.
Yeah, about
the audition, right?
I'll be like, that was 2023, right?
Yeah, we came out there. We came out there to show love
that
out
was
there.
2023, right? Yeah, New York, yeah. So
talk about that. You know, talk about stepping into fashion and film.
Yeah,
that was different. And that was a good film too.
Thank
Really
you, brother.
produced, really well thought out. I love how like, you know, this the technical stuff behind it.
The shopping experience.
The shopping experience, like we'll be talking, then let me like click this link to go ahead and buy this car.
Yeah, that was
I was
really
like, if that is not, I was like, that is not genius.
Put that back up.
Come on, stand up account. Shout out to. All right, but I was like, that was genius.
Yes, sir.
Because who could also be like, oh, I like, cause it's like Amazon when you're watching the TV and they let you know who the actor is.
Yeah, right on.
What inspired that? Because that was dope. Because you could be like, hey, y'all watch the film, but go ahead, get this cardigan real quick, brother man.
Thank you, brother.
No, that was genius.
I love movies, man. When I was going to school and doing my AA and getting my bachelor's, I had a lot of time on my hands too. So I would just be watching a lot of movies, man. I really do love film. I really do. Like, what's the word? Cinephile, I guess that's what it is. But I really do love movies, and I always said I'm gonna make one. I've done some for school projects. I've done music videos. I helped my boy make some direct some music videos and stuff like that. Directed our own joints back in the day, and I was like, yo, I'm gonna do a film one day. And then the opportunity came where another brand called Naso. They're not really a brand no more, but so my homie Uyi, he came up to me. He was like, bro, I got this idea that I think we should shoot a short film. Technology's gonna be in the shopping experience, being wrong. So I'm like, all right, this is what I've been asking for.
Yeah.
The price tag was crazy for the production, but I was like, all right, this is what if I want this, I'm gonna have to get this experience.
He invested, y'all.
So I'm gonna have to get this experience, and I keep on using that same term, like ROI, return on investment. Where's the money? The kickback. And I was just like, I gotta like calm down and just realize it's all gonna happen at the end of the day. But we did it, man, and it was a blessing. We went out to LA. We had a pop up after the shoot too. So we did like 3-day shoot, few months planning, but 3-day shoot, knocked it out, and then we had a pop up the next day at Sweet Chick. Shout out to the homies at Sweet Chick, Nas, John, Anu, all them. Yeah, in New York, we love them. But yeah, beautiful people. Yeah, they helped us out, and then we shot that film in 3 days. It's amazing, bro. It was amazing what we could do. Like, it was really good. But yeah, we dropped it. I want to do more, but like I said, it's gonna take time.
So I want to ask you now, before we go ahead and wrap it, just a few more questions. Like, not only are you just an adventurous guy, I feel like even though you had to go back home because of this, like how you like, you know, this at the baby kid at the time. But I think one thing that's cool about you is you get to experience culture. You travel a lot.
Yes, sir.
You were just in London, Paris Fashion Week.
Yeah, Paris.
And you had a pop-up shop.
Yes, sir.
How was that? You see them react to your brand.
It was good. So I went out there with that mindset. I gotta realize like, yo, nobody knows me out there.
Yeah.
It's cool and it looks good on paper to all my people back at home. But like, I gotta realize this is about to be a novelty. You know what I mean? For a lot of people, it's about to be new to them.
Yeah.
So I'm like, okay, we're gonna go out there with no expectation. We're just gonna thank God we made this trip happen, and we're doing this.
Yeah.
This experience, and we're gonna be open to all. So dealing with that, man, different culture, met some people out there too. A lot of people were from different countries out there too around that time because of Paris Fashion Week.
Yeah.
But they loved, some people, like real cyclists came in there, they got our cycling jersey, they didn't even know who we were. It was just like, yo, I actually love the quality of this. I'm about to use this to bike tomorrow, you know what I mean? All these things. So just those little things. And I tell people when we're doing pop-ups and the homies and we're doing all these things, I'm like, yo, we're not begging nobody to buy nothing. We're just saying thank you for coming. We appreciate you for showing up. We really do appreciate. We're not saying all that, but we're just letting people know, like, yo, you don't have to buy nothing. Be here. Your presence is okay. You know what I mean?
Word of mouth.
You feel me? Feeling it. So
you
feeling it,
you know,
good enough. So yeah, and later they will be back. In my opinion, I think they will be back because they respect it. And I worked in retail too. I worked a lot of jobs. I worked in retail, and I know like hovering over somebody, what you need. It's not going to help, man. Nobody wants that experience as a consumer. So all these things played in my mind, and like, man, I just let people do what they did in the pop-up, enjoy what they can. We networked and we did a lot more. My homie Chief in Canada, he helped me cook that up too. And yeah, we worked with him a couple of times. We done pop-ups in Toronto. I just came back from Tokyo.
So you were in Tokyo?
God
What's the end of Tokyo?
Yeah, no, it was
I don't know the TikTok, but I know. I said, you in Tokyo, you in Paris.
Yeah, no, it was a blessing too. I've never been, and I was going to do a pop-up out there, but I said, let me calm down, because once again, people don't know me, so let me just experience experience myself and then get to know their culture before I come out here. Like, yo, come by. And they be like, yo, who are you? Well, this is not our style. And me going out there and studying made me realize, like, yo, I do got to come out with a different style, because like we're talking about colors, they don't really like colors like that out there like that. You know what I mean?
Don't.
They straight, like, they love black, they love good silhouettes, they love, you know what I mean,
simple,
a lot of,
simplicity.
And there is like that little Harajuku, like all the, you know what I mean, the anime style that everybody be doing, but like people, you know what I mean, casual people, they really just, they love a good silhouette, and they will crack that every day.
I want to ask a few more questions.
I'm listening, brother.
You're a man, obviously,
yes, sir.
And making women's clothing, was that a challenge?
Yeah. Sizing, man.
Yeah, women's sizes are different, and then how you want the clothes to fit on their body, they're real particular.
Was that a challenge? It still is a challenge. It still is a challenge.
Yeah, you know that ass super fat on this Mingo. Hey. They want to make sure they're looking good. They don't want to be looking good. They don't want to be looking baggy in the Mingo.
No, for sure.
They want to be sitting in the Mingo now.
That's a challenge, bro. That's a challenge. That's why I study a lot of women's clothes. I look weird sometimes going in stores, Aricia's, all these places. You know what I mean? I study a lot of women's clothes. I look at how my mom dresses, her stuff like her scrubs, her outfits, you know what I mean, and native wear, even the girls that, you know what I mean, I've been in relationships with.
Hey, you've been around the world now. Come on, Ju. You get the two flamingos, they weren't kissing for no reason.
Yo, tell them to stop. But yeah, my homegirls too, the ones who I hang around, I'll be looking at their fits and all that stuff, and I just be like, dang, okay. So when I do samples and stuff like that, I ask for their advice, because obviously I'm not a woman.
Yeah.
So I have women on hand who do give me certain advice, and they help me try stuff on, and then they tell me like, all right, this is how we want it to be. Like, it fits, but if I'm doing this is how I want it to be. If I'm doing this is how I want it to be. And you gotta realize, okay, this is one girl I'm talking about, and this is one body type.
Yeah.
Many different others, and I love all body types.
Mingo does not discriminate. We love them all.
We do not, but it's a challenge. It's a challenge to get it right, and I applaud everybody who does. So I'm coming, ladies. I'm coming.
Is there anybody you're manifesting that you want to see wear Mingo one day?
Never got asked that question before.
Well, see, that's what happens when you with Kyle and Mike, man. We ask the questions they don't ask. But think about it.
Oh, my man.
Right, we'll cut some of it out to get right to the answer.
Yeah, no. I was about to say, I mean, everybody at the beginning, especially every clothing brand, maybe every streetwear clothing brand or lifestyle brand, will probably want Kanye because they see the you know what I mean, the effect after. But not no more for me, not even because of what he's doing right now. It's just like, it's not really tripping off that. You really need to see your idols or people you admire. I don't know, man. I don't really got nobody crazy. Who? Solange would be cool.
Solange would be cool. Even her son Jules.
Yeah, even her son Jules. But let's stick with Miles first.
Okay, all right. So Solange,
Mama Solange.
And I think Solange's style is definitely really like eccentric, really like colorful, really different.
Yes,
you know, definitely with your
the tones and everything. So yeah, hopefully she'll like it. But that would be cool. Somebody off the top of my head, Solange would be really cool. I love her style. Yeah,
so,
and she's a July baby too. So I do love that about her.
So what's your Cancer?
I don't believe in all that. You know what I mean? You're born in July. Yeah.
See, we were talking about it earlier. Everybody's like, oh, we're going to zodiac sign. It's all right. If you're a Cancer, you're a Cancer. It's all right now. But no, in fact, I mean, I respect that. But no, Solange would be a dope.
Yes, sir.
Were any brands you like the collab? Do you see yourself collabing, or are you more like just like we're sticking this straight to this what we do?
Definitely what we do. But I do love collabs, so I can't fake like, oh, I don't really want to work with nobody. Shoes. I love shoes, man. So. Okay. I love E.6. I'm wearing Adidas, but I do love E.6. I would love to do an E.6 collab. Who else? New Balance, Nike is cool. But yeah, E.6 would be really, really cool. I do love E.6 shoes wise. So that's one of the main. That's what I could think of. Shoes wise, E.6 would be really cool.
E.6, that would be dope.
Yeah,
and if they play around with the color and everything
you know
too.
What I mean, if I get the silhouette I'm talking about, not y'all throwing me a silhouette making me but you know what I'm talking about. Yeah, E.6 would be cool.
All right, before we go ahead and wrap up, what is some advice you would just love to give to anybody out there who's just starting up a brand? What are 3 key essentials that someone should have, or 3 things they should look forward into doing when trying to start a clothing brand? Okay. If it's more than 3, whatever you think, or if it's 1.
Be consistent. Be consistent. I mean, I think that happens after. That definitely happens when you start. You know what I mean? Be consistent. Like we talked about, you got to love it. It might be hard to love it at first, but know what you're doing it for. Not doing it if you're doing it for money, that's your own business, and you see the results of that. So you got to love what you're doing and doing it for the right things, like doing it for others. So be consistent. Community, working for others, serving others, helping others, and not trying to get no ROI back. You know what I mean? It's not about what you get back. It's about how you put it out there, and you see the results of how it can affect their life. So be community-wise and everything. And then have faith, man. Have faith and learn. Be ready to fail. And failing, it sounds good, but failing does suck because it does seem like your world is over. Yeah. So I'm not going to act like, oh, it's the best thing in the world. But just remember, when you do fail, it's not over. It's not over. So be ready to fail. Consistency, community, and man, have faith. You'll be good. You'll be good by God's grace.
All right, and last and final question: how does Ju and the brand Mingo by Domingo stand out?
How does Ju? So separately, how does Ju stand out, man? I guess by the way I try to treat others. You know what I mean? How I try to leave an effect on others. Some might call it fake, like I'm just, you know what I mean, just working the room, but I really do try to leave an effect on others, you know what I mean?
Because, I believe that.
Yeah, I got love for everybody, you know what I mean? I try to. So that, and then same with the brand too. We try to be open for everybody, you know what I mean? The brand is, it's hard to stick out because a lot of brands are here nowadays, you know what I mean? And everybody's dropping something. Everybody's dropping something.
Or stealing something from another
brand. You feel me?
Yeah.
So it's like the heart sticking out, and I don't really make like crazy pieces just yet. So it's like the colors.
Just yet?
Yeah, the colors.
Well, we got exclusive or something?
I ain't tell y'all that.
Jill, hold on now, Jill. Don't leave me hanging now.
Colors and contrast helps out with Mingo, and then the silhouettes, and also, man, about pricing too, man. I know my market. I study my market. I study who I wanted to go to, who I'm looking to go to. So I study all these things and try to keep that into factor.
I'm glad you tap on that, knowing your market, knowing your market, because sometimes like if you can't afford it, you can't get it. It's just unfortunately, it's not your calling. Right?
You feel me? You be back, lady, when you can't afford it. If you can't,
exactly, because you know your worth. You put the time, the effort, the consistency. You went through trial and error to make Mingo by Domingo what it is.
Thank you, brother.
I love the brand.
Thank you,
the brand is amazing. I love rocking it. I will always forever wear it when I have a big events gear and just going to support anywhere. And definitely let people know about it too, because bro, you're really doing a great thing.
Thank you, brother.
I'm glad you took the time out to come here to just talk to me.
You know what I mean?
You know, I know you got some dope stuff cooking. He ain't giving us too much yet, but the only thing was stay tuned, right?
All right, best. Stay tuned, please.
He's always working, man. Glad to have you here, Ju, first off.
Yes,
glad to have you just as yourself.
God bless
and
you.
Also to have you here represent the brand, Mingo by Domingo. Ju, appreciate you right here. Let them know where they can follow you, tap in with you on all social medias and what you got coming up.
My camera. First of all, before all that, shout out to the team, you know, behind the scenes. They've been doing work all day.
Yes.
Yeah, clap up for them, you know what I mean?
Shout out for the standout squad.
Shout out to the production team. We don't forget the production team. We at church, we don't do that. But yeah, so follow me, man. I'm on Instagram, the brand page, Mingo by Domingo. Google us, Mingo by Domingo. Website, mingo008.com. If you find me, you find my personal, but yeah, I just want you to worry about the brand, don't worry about me, you know what I mean? So yeah, Mingo by Domingo, follow us, check us out. Let us know if we suck or not. We love feedback, man, it's okay. We're not mad. Hey, but continue doing your thing. Kyle, I appreciate this opportunity, bro. Love you, man.
Yes, sir. Love you too, bro. That's all love, man. Appreciate you, man. So again, you just tuned into an episode of Stand Out with Kyle. I am Kyle on the mic. Make sure you follow us on all social medias at Stand Out with Kyle. Follow me as well, Kyle on the mic. And we're here with Ju, aka Mingo by Domingo, who just broke the damn chair.
I hope
and
not.
We're gonna stand out and end this episode right now.
I hope not.
I appreciate you, bro.